It's 42 on the core, 42K, Neptown, USA, 42nd of post.
Nigga, this where the real shit be happening.
Why you got birds on your shoulder?
They got, he's Birdman 4-do.
We been posted on the block, nigga.
Tons used to be over here.
Tons.
The pawn shop used to be right there, bro.
Son,
This
I don't care
42nd
about
post,
none of
nigga.
that.
Alright, yo, what's up, YouTube, man? Welcome back to another hood vlog, man, with your girl, Nation Clay. About to give y'all another video, man. So make sure y'all like this video. Make sure y'all subscribe, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in and all these great things, supporting the channel, man. We about to hit 20K subscribers, man. I appreciate that, man. It feels amazing. I just want to say thank y'all so much. You know, I am officially probably the biggest YouTuber from my neighborhood, 42nd and Post Road, which where we at right now. We on Post Road right now, where I grew up. This is the gas station that I grew up on. The biggest YouTuber from my neighborhood, man, making a way for the youth coming from my neighborhood. Shout out to my big cousins and all them who put me on game when I was a kid. When they brought YouTube into the neighborhood, they was the first to bring YouTube to the neighborhood. I just took the torch, and now I'm turning it up a notch a little bit, man. So thank y'all, man. Like this video, subscribe, turn on your post notifications, because these videos only getting better, going city to city, and man, y'all don't want to miss it. So let's get right into this video, and I'll see y'all next clip. Let's do it.
Boy, I know you from somewhere. I
Where
don't
you know me from?
Boy, I'm not bullshitting, because boy, you a wild dog.
Bro, why you got birds on your shoulder like
Cause
that?
I got birds on my shoulder. Like
They got, he's Birdman 4-do.
He what?
Birdman 4-do. 4-do Birdman.
Alright,
Everybody know it.
for real? That's what's up. My boy got birds on us. Alright, who we got with us right now?
It's 42 on the core, 42K.
You might as well tell them boys on MLK to go ahead and pull out them old schools, pull out them classes. Cause that's the type of time we rolling on. As a matter of fact, in case you forgot, I kick a dope down on a hoe, make it make sense for a bitch. Whole lot of flood going on. Me and my gon' represent what it is. Me and my gon' represent how we live. Me and my gon' represent what it is. Me and my gon' represent in this bitch. Me and my gon' represent.
Yeah, we over here, Neptown, USA, over in the best block on the world,
What block is it?
42nd of post.
Alright, tell the people a little bit about who we got with us.
We got my boy X right here, childhood.
East side. 38th and Emerson, Forest Manor.
Alright, tell us a little bit about 42K, the rapper, the person, everything.
Diving into that. I mean, I'm a product of my environment. It's in the name, 4200. So I think that everything that I do and everywhere I go is sort of a reflection of that exact thing. That's whatever it is.
The owner of this place, me and her, we grew up in this
Bro,
place.
it's so cold, bro.
This your neighborhood?
I've been out here since 1979.
For real? You're an OG.
Yeah, we both.
OG.
Alright, give us one positive memory out here.
One positive memory. The positive memory was when this woman right here opened this store right here,
Yeah.
and Mama right here opened the dance club. Mama right here, there she is right there. Mama.
I know her. She been here my whole life.
Hey, she'll tell you. I've been out here long as she been out here.
Yeah, she took my
When
high
she first,
fives one time when I was
She's
a
a
kid.
beautiful woman, and she always take care of her people out here. All the people that don't work around here, hey, she know. From the day when she worked here, when she opened this store, here we are, we were young. She a beautiful woman, and she always take care of her people. Now the people that work for her, we can't speak for them. We can't speak for the people that work for her. But that woman right there, I love her to death.
Alright, I appreciate that, OG.
And right there, the laundry,
Yeah.
over at the laundry,
Yeah, the post road laundry.
Bobo.
Nah, bro, we been posted on the block, nigga. This
I don't
40, this
care
42nd
about
post,
none of
nigga.
that.
We out here, nigga. We stay posted up on the block. You feel me? Nigga, this where the real shit be
Subway used to be over there.
Babo.
Then you an OG. You know
Yes,
my mama though.
No, yeah,
Who your
I
mama?
probably do.
You do.
My haircut before I had hair over here. Kenny was over here cutting hair.
Ponda Rosa used to be
Sons
right there.
used to be over
Sons.
here. The pawn shop used to be right there.
Son, Ponda Rosa, all that.
I was out here. I was out here when they
You
was
know
still
my
flagging.
little, I've been out here. You know all my little kids.
Red flag.
Come on.
That's what
That answers your question right there.
All right, tell us a little bit about you. How you, your upbringing, and everything like that.
Right there, where the church is,
Yeah.
used to be a big store called the Depot. That church right there, the one next to this,
Yeah.
used to be a good pastor.
All right, OG.
My house
All right,
right
OG.
there. 42nd.
Go, baby.
All right, OG. I appreciate that, OG. Be safe out here.
Man, baby, I've been out.
Hey, you want a real interview about Post? I'll take you. I'll let you know.
All right.
You know about the
Hey,
block.
I just got to
The
do
real block.
Move up for
All right, OG.
Yeah, man, that answers your question. I ain't gonna lie. When you talk about what it is, that 40-second guy,
He's still talking.
Nah, for real.
All right, tell us a little bit about you as a person and your life story, how you grew up, and what inspired you to become a rapper.
yeah, so like I said, I grew up over here predominantly for the most part. My mama moved us around the city a lot, but this is where I spent most of my time. I mean, man, I'm the oldest of 7, so I think that speaks volumes to like what type of upbringing I had. I'm the oldest of 7, coming from a low-income type of community, coming from these type of parts. Like, it was, I feel like what I felt was common struggles. You feel me? Lights not being on, bills late, all that common stuff. Some nights you're not eating what you want to eat, or not eating at all. So I think that's necessarily the trade-off that comes with the type of strong upbringing that I had.
So how do you feel like you had a positive mindset growing up in such a tough environment?
I think I was probably an outlier for real, because a lot of times when I talk to people who I grew up around, they be like, they don't know how I'm able to have a positive mindset. I feel like a lot of it is some type of divine intervention.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that.
Yeah. Like my mother, I will say, I will always give her credit. My mother always pushed us to sort of be very, ask questions, be curious, and just try to think outside the box. So I had that in my favor, I'd say. A lot of people's moms didn't allow them to have that type of conversation or push them in the right direction, but I had that. So I think that definitely put a battery in my back to sort of look at my situation differently.
What is something you learned the most? Tell me a little bit more about your story. I know last time I talked to you said you got involved in drugs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Can you speak a little bit about that?
Yeah, I can speak on that now after all that stuff is over with, but growing up, I feel like it was just a hustle. It's not, you don't even necessarily think about it from a perspective of it necessarily being illegal. I feel like you just doing it because you gotta make ends meet.
Yeah.
And when you come in, like I said, in that situation, my mother was doing the best that she could on a very tight end. Growing up, my mom was a dancer, an exotic dancer, a stripper. So I didn't have the typical see your mom, at night after you get off school type of thing. I dang near miss my mom the whole day, because by the time I come back, she sleep to get ready to go to work. But I ain't seen her all day because I'm at school. So I think that's the type of upbringing that I had that sort of forced our hands to sort of get into hustling however we could.
So I know a lot of people that never really grew up in the hood or really experienced what it's like actually living in the ghetto.
Yeah.
A lot of people think some of us just sell drugs for the image, not knowing, you know, stories like this.
Nah. See, man, it'll force your hand. Like, you look at your situation and you think, man, I mean, I think it's the reaction of desperation. You look at your situation and things not going the way that you want them to go, and you got dreams and aspirations of seeing something different. You just trying to
survive.
And that survival instinct, man, of how you doing things that you know you sort of go numb to in a way. And I feel like that's definitely what happened with our situation. And a lot of people got locked up, and a lot of people, you know, they passed away since that situation.
What are some things you could say to the youth, you know, after you know, based off what you share, who are in similar situations, just things like that?
Man, in terms of sharing with them, I mean, man, you just gotta, like, it's like all the cliches, right?
Yeah.
Like, everybody say that, you know, be strong, be confident, you know, try to play it smart and all that good stuff. I think that that's very prevalent. I think that exists. I think you should be that way. But even more so, like, just pay attention. Like, I feel like, me and the homies talk about it, school was important. Like, we give school a lot of flack for creating an institutionalized mindset and making us sort of act a certain way, and we fear that it may be making us get ready for society that's 9 to 5 and all that.
Yeah.
But there's a part of it that you can take away and take and use to your advantage, and I think that that's what we've done with, like, music. Like, you can leverage the little things. Even when they get a little boring, try to think, how can I actually make this work for me, instead of thinking, damn, I can't do nothing with this. That'd be a big point of advice for me.
So tell people more, if people wanted to get to know you from just who you are as a person.
Yeah.
What is some stuff that you can say that can cause them to even want to, like, connect to your music and get to, like, listen to your music?
I think that in this life, like, if the common narrative that we're all experiencing something deeper than just our lives, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're in these bodies, moving around, trying to figure it out. And there's a hierarchy of health and how to live a life. And at the bare bottom of that, the bare necessities, is things like financials, things like housing. Those two things being battered and broken up are common in our today society. So if you from somewhere that requires you to be hungry and dig deep and want for more, then you're somebody that's gonna relate to my music. In the same vein, it don't even necessarily need to be that extreme. It could be something as simple as, shit, you just want more out of your life. And I feel like that's the type of music and type of records that I've been producing.
Can you explain, like, what you got going on music-wise?
Yeah, so like I said, I'm in a partnership right now. I think that that's the best way to leverage your music, is trying to find ways where you're not getting, quote unquote, fucked by the industry. So right now I'm in a partnership with Rock Nation, which used to be Equity Distribution, now it's Rock Nation Distribution, Jay-Z's label. So that's pretty cool.
So what's some music tip, what can you share to the people, that kids that want to be rappers and stuff like that, starting up?
Jeez, don't be a rapper. Aim higher. Nah, man, like, I say, if you chasing music, if music is something that you're passionate about, keep it a buck with yourself and push the limits. Like, let's not, like, if you like something, see what you can do to make it better. Don't copy it. That's how I sort of see it. And I feel like we see a lot of that in that. I feel like we see a lot of that overall. It's like a lot of people just can't seem to figure out the original part of it.
Do you feel like the city work together?
Nah, not all the way. I feel like we working our way towards that, and I feel like there's instances where we see it, but I feel like with me, it's more about not what you did, but why you did it. So the intent is always going to override the action. And a lot of people do things in the sense of, like, virtue signaling, or trying to do it for financial gain. Like we talked about before this, it's like, you do what you do out of respect for a much bigger purpose. And the same thing with my music. Music is not the end goal for me. It's a tool that I'm using because I'm good at it. I'm using what I'm good at, and I'm leveraging it to make something else bigger happen. And so I feel like with a lot of the times you'll see things on social media, you'll see things on the net, people get this this weird inclination to sort of compete instead of collaborate. And I feel like I'm seeing that a lot. So until we sort of get over that competition and that acting out of the wrong space, wrong energy, we're gonna forever be stuck in the same loop of trying to figure out why our city's not moving forward.
That is true. Where can people find you at? We can walk if you want to. Or you want to sit right here?
I swear I ain't tripping. Yeah, man. In terms of what, like my socials and stuff?
Yeah, everything, music.
Yeah, 421 and Corey, 4200KORY. I say it. It's the same thing everywhere I go. I say that's why I put the block right next to the name, so you can't forget it. Out the gate.
Where we at right now? I know we just walked into some apartments.
Yeah, we just walked into Mason Gardens apartments. This is where I was kicking it at. I kicked it at over here, and I kicked it at over on Meadowlark. So
Meadowlark someplace?
Yeah. Meadowlark someplace and over there by the houses. Yep.
For the older people, they gonna be like, oh, that is Pinnacle Square.
Oh yeah. They say they'd be like, I stayed there back when it was Pinnacle Square. Yeah, nah, man, I used to kick it over here, man, and I feel like this area just really shaped a whole lot of who I am. And like, when people ask me about the 4200, this is specifically what I be talking about. Like, we grew up, we had news cases about murders and all types of crazy stuff, like babies being found in trash cans and all that sick type of shit that really, it scramble your mind up. And like, even my earliest recollections of memories here is like hearing people like be hit and screaming and asking for help. You can hear them outside, and that type of stuff sort of builds this normalcy to violence that, you know, a normal human being shouldn't have, yet alone a 14, 15-year-old. So yeah, for sure, this area right here is like the makings of me running around here thinking I was slick, fucking around with girls. You know, I should have been fucking around with girls. Don't be like me. But nah, I had a lot of fun, and I feel like I said, it's a culture that was here that it built me up. And I feel like I told you, like, we are part of an era that's really seemingly beginning to fade away.
Yeah, it is fading. It's crazy. It's fading away. You could speak about that, like I don't think people understand how close these apartments is from Brentwood. It's right there. Yeah. So it's like the same thing that y'all saw in Brentwood is just all over there. It was all over the neighborhood.
Exactly.
It wasn't just one spot.
Yeah. If I was to speak to that, like I say, like that. I mean, that's Post Road in general. When you see somebody who's from Post Road, and they talk about Post Road, the stories always seem to interconnect. They always seem to be very similar. Like, we just was talking to the OGs, and they wasn't sounding no different than any nigga from Post Road would. Talking about, man, I was really here, I was really that. Like, that's how it worked. that's the type of, like I said, the type of culture that it sort of embeds in you. It's like, being from over here, you can't be weak, you can't be soft.
No, you can't.
Like, it'll eat you up because you already losing, in a sense, when you in this predicament. So a lot of times it just scopes you. Like, even these basketball courts, a lot of times basketball has always been like a safe haven for me. And I got to see some real cold cats come up here, hoop, and then, you know, even go college. And I felt like to make it that far, you really getting away.
So college?
Yeah, if you can get to college, especially now, you know, they got NILs and all that good shit. So you get paid now. You can make that your end goal at this point.
No, for real. That's all you need. All right, speak on a little bit about, you know, the neighborhood now from now.
Yeah, man, when I came back, so I spent a year and a half in Baton Rouge studying and playing ball. And while I was there, you know, I feel like that's sort of when the transition happened, because in 2020, we had COVID and we had all those things happen, sort of change and mix up stuff. And the city just went through a major boom in terms of having funds and money to build new things, new infrastructure. Like, we got what them called the storage units and stuff they just been put over there the past year, and a whole lot of other things that they sort of been developing around the city. And when I came back, I did like a small like giveaway. Like, I came out here, we set up shop right here by the office. You was here for that, wasn't you? Man, when I came back, I set up shop here, and we gave out like peanut butter jellies. We did coloring books, and we gave out like little affirmation books to kids all around the area. And that was in 2021. So for me, I think seeing it sort of change over these past 3-4 years, into what it is. Like, you don't see a lot of people that look like me and you no more. You see a lot of foreigners. You see a lot of quote unquote the Latinas, Latino. You see a lot of the Haitians. You see all them. And I think that it's dope to see that we have sort of we got that culture that's full of different flavors. But at the same time, it's like, man, you look back at it like, man, that's how old people must feel. Yeah. They're like, back in my day, that's how I feel. Back in my day, it was way different. Yeah, I definitely felt like an old head, man. Because when we came, in that same day, we came in here and we got kicked out because we was in here being too loud. But still, like, even little moments like that is like, it's just dope to be able to have a space that you could call home and a home base that you represent. Like, a lot of people don't have that. And it's always good that we had that.
Yeah. What is something that you feel like I haven't asked yet that you would like to share?
Like, even still touching base on the city, and like, I think what's more important when you ask, like, do we have the collaboration that we need, or is it there, or we lack it? I think what's more important to sort of highlight is what can we do to sort of get that there. And like, I'm still learning this. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the process of what it takes to make something bigger than myself. But every day is a trying effort. And when it comes to this city, man, like I said in my music, don't nobody love this shit like I do. And I really mean it, because it's not about me loving it more than anybody. It's about the type of love that I got for it being so close to my heart.
Yeah. I rock with the city. You talking about the city wide, right? Like,
yeah, man. And knowing that, we have voices that can be pivotal. We have voices that have leverage and people listen to and care and respect. It's on us to be honorable people. And like I told you before, like, we in a culture that's uncheckable almost. You can't check a lot of these kids. You can't check a lot of people. We got the internet. So a lot of people not even their full selves. They only a fraction of themselves. And when you talk about the city and how we can sort of get that better, I think it just comes down to all of us having more of a collective effort to actually do it for the right reasons. And I don't think a lot of people doing it for the right reasons. So that's one thing that I definitely like to touch on. And then aside from that, like this album that we're working on, the Cobra Sun album, is more so about, like, in my previous records, I feel like I've been making music that was geared towards like having a good time, or making music that was geared towards like telling a story. But this one here is going to be changing the connotation of how we view trauma. Like I say, like a homeboy of mine was telling me, sort of compare it to superheroes. Superheroes ain't none without the trauma. Yeah. Like, they would have never got there if they didn't have a bad story. And I feel like a lot of times we put this negative connotation on trauma, and that's why it's also hard to talk about it, because it's like you make it seem like I'm weak because I done went through something in this, and I feel like that's life. But this time around, I'm using that same trauma to show y'all why I'm strong and how it's empowering. And I feel like this area, this city, sort of built that for me. It's like making me into a stronger person through, traumatic experiences. And so, like, that's what I'm excited about with this one.
You know the name?
Cobra Sun. Yeah, my mama's name is Cobra the Commander. That was her stage name coming up. And so growing up, we always called her Cobra. And so this one's an ode to my mother and an ode to my family and my upbringing. Because I grew up around a whole lot of lords and shit like that. So for me, being around vice lords and being around my moms and being around like all this trauma and shit, and just being around from this city specifically, it'll do something to you that'll sculpt you into a good man. But at the same time, you got to take all that's given to you and run in the right direction with it. Because you can have all the tools and go in the wrong direction. And you can have all the tools and have the wrong intention, and it'll throw you all the way off your course. So, yeah, man, I'm super excited about that.
Where do you like to see yourself in like 5 years?
In 5 years? Man, I'd like to see myself not too far from here, but in a place of leverage, continuing to build upon what I already got. Because the music is one thing, and I think continuing to build within community, like we touched on it already. There's something lacking there. We need to figure it out. And we can't be talking about, we can't keep, you know, pointing the finger and saying this needs to be changed without ever coming to solutions. All we do is sort of talk in circles. And so for me, I'm big on trying to find that solution. And I feel like in the next 5 years, I want to be a lot closer to, if not finding that solution to, you know, bridging that gap that's within the city in terms of making more collaboration and not competition.
All right, so you know, like, I think it's too loud right here.
Maybe you want to try the other side?
Yeah, we can try the other side. All right, so you know, like my channel is more so trying to push like a different image in the ghettos, and also get the stories of the people in the community. Like, what are some steps you feel like we can take to like change the ghettos and stuff like that?
Man, I think we talk about voting, and voting got a terrible stigma with it. But when I talk about voting, I think more so for your state elected officials.
Yeah.
When you want something to change close to home, that's what you do. He said you need inside agitation and outside irritation to make positive legislation. And we got people that are willing to make change do, but we as a people don't necessarily prioritize our rights to vote and try to understand politics better, because it can get confusing, it can get scary. It's like trying to teach, you know, low income people finance. It's like one of those things that you're just uncomfortable with, so you shy away from it, and then that connotation builds of it being like, how can that help you? But if you want direct change, definitely try to, definitely try to vote and pay attention to the politics that's close to your city, inside your city. Now that government shit, that'd be far out. Like, that's some whole other game.
Yeah, that
is like, when you talk about Trump and all that, that's a whole other game.
But do you feel like the people in the ghettos should like be aware of that? Just off of like, I feel like the ghetto is a game.
Absolutely.
Like a mind game, bro.
Absolutely. Like, that's what I mean though when I'm saying pay attention.
Yeah.
So when, like, you look at, you gotta make sure you gotta know something about everything, just a little bit, so that way you just don't get played out. Because like you said, it's a game.
Yeah. It's
a big old game, and you'll get played out.
What is some last stuff that you would like to share about just your journey, who you are, and just the youth? Like, what's some advice?
Man, I say off top for myself, I'ma always be authentic to this. Like, this is never going to change. Like, my name is never going to change. It's going to be voice on recording. Like, I put the numbers by the name, so that no matter where I go, people know where I'm from. And even if you ask, you can't forget, because it's the 42. But it's like, when it comes to teaching a lesson, and when it comes to dropping knowledge or anything of that nature, everybody's situation is different from me. And if there's one tidbit that I could always pass on, it'll always probably be, like, again, just being cognizant of your opportunities, being aware of your resources, because we talk about leadership in today's society and how we're trying to create men and how we're trying to create leaders. And being a leader means being a student. It means sitting back and being patient and being willing to be wrong and be checkable, man. Be checkable. Because like I said, gang culture it's over with.
Talking about the gang culture?
Yeah, gang culture is dead. The internet killed that. So so like there's no foundations when it comes to, like, all right, even if we in a gang, there's no hierarchy, no levels to it. You know, the young boys is going out to do whatever they want. There's no honor in a lot of things. Yeah. And because we lack that, it's hard to be checkable. And growing up, I was a checkable person. Like, I want people around me to be like, you was wrong for that. I want people around me to be like, yo, you can do better at this. Because if you don't have that, you're going to be sensitive.
Very.
And when you grow up and you're sensitive, it's a whole lot easier to mess up. You can't think your situation through. And so, like I said, just being cognizant of that, be cognizant of your resources, be honest with yourself, and just have a backbone, man. That'd be my biggest thing, bro. Just have a backbone. Like, if you say you're gonna do something, do that. If you're gonna take a course, take an action, think it through. Like I said, man, it'd be a lot of the cliches, but it'd be things of that nature right there that'll take you to the next level. You'll never know. If you just waited a second longer, if you just waited a second to think about what you did, for sure. That'd be my biggest ones.
All right, what's some last advice you could give to the youth? people like him holding the camera.
Man, I would say get him started young, but he already there.
With the camera?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I got him on that.
Yeah, if you get on that, man, be around people that are like-minded individuals. So like the way that you cooking up with that camera right now, you got to hang around people that have the same type of passion for what they got going on. If it's in the right direction, then that's the type of people you need to kick around. Don't waste your time trying to save people, trying to change people. Let people run their course of action and lead by example first, because your words can only mean so much at the end of the day. Your action is going to override all that. So that'd be my biggest one. I hope he's listening.
No, he listen. He's smart.
Nah, I can tell.
Alright, man. So it's gonna close it out right there. Appreciate you.
I appreciate you having me. It's love.